So yeah, I got on my flight, I left. And then pretty much after that, the day after I left, that's when the Korean nigga Johnny Hotel. And I told that the day after I left to Japan, Johnny, that's when all the started happening to Johnny. Like,
I should have listened to Gino, and I should have booked the flight the same day as Gino. I would have been out of here. That's enough. We watched enough of Gino.
How we really want to retaliate.
I like that. How we really want to retaliate.
All those guys were looking for them to find them, to locate them, to also to really assist law enforcement.
Guys, we got some massive updates on Johnny Somali and another nuisance streamer, Gino. I don't know if you guys remember Gino or not. He was one of the biggest criminals like Johnny Somali in Korea. He just escaped moments before Johnny Somali was banned from leaving Korea. Now we are getting news that Gino is facing 10 years in prison and a whopping $40,000 fine for what he did in Korea with Johnny Somali. How Korea is getting Gino back to South Korea. We'll talk about this later in the video. So, we got an update on him after many months. Gino spoke out about the incident and how he escaped South Korea. Johnny Somali also almost escaped Korea, but because of his own mistake, he couldn't get out.
We had a cool ass hotel like owner or Airbnb owner, because if that's not cool like that, and he's like, yeah, that nigga Somali here, we would have been cooked that night, bro. It was the Korean nigga running through the mother hotel looking for our ass. So you know what I'm saying? So that next morning, I hopped straight in a taxi. I went straight to the airport. You know what I'm saying? I had on a mask. I had on a beanie. Couldn't nobody knew anything. I had on a mask. I had on a beanie. I was not playing that shit. I'm like making it out this bitch. I don't know. So yeah, I got on my flight. I left, and then pretty much after that, the day after I left, that's when the Korean nigga Johnny Hotel. And I told that the day after I left to Japan, Johnny, that's when all the started happening to Johnny. Like, cause he flew out the day after me, and that's when into the airport, and they told him, yeah, bro, you can't fly. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got a drug test or whatever going on, bro. He was on a no-fly list, and he had to stay there. And that's when all the after that happened, y'all pretty much know everything that has to be done, because it was all so yeah, that's basically how shit went.
Now here, Legal Mindset brought an interesting piece of advice, but I have serious doubts about whether South Korea can actually do it or not. Legal Mindset explained how South Korea could bring Gino back and also punish him together with Johnny Somali. But before I show you that, I'd like to show some of the crimes Gino committed in Korea.
Can I eat your booty? Can I eat your booty? Eat your ass. I don't know. Get your ass alive. Yo, check this out. I didn't mean to. I paid money.
Did you see that, guys? Gino actually committed more crimes than Johnny Somali. Now watch what Legal Mindset said about how to bring Gino back and punish him.
Gino was very fortunate to escape Korea, to get out of Korea before charges were placed against him as well, because he was an accomplice, he was a cameraman, and there was a lot of heat on him. Johnny was a mere day away from really possibly getting out of Korea and escaping, and only because Johnny Somali refuses to listen, and he's doubled down on his bad behavior, doubled down on getting the maximum amount of clout that has dug him in this deep and continues to bury him in South Korea. All those guys were looking for them, to find them, to locate them, to also to really assist law enforcement in knowing where they can find them, to serve them with charges and give them papers. So this is a point at which they were really being hunted. Clear, and this is something I want to bring up here as a good point. The mask and beanie may help you from the general public, but that would not save you from immigration. Korea has an integrated facial scan system. You scan in, scan out, they got your photo. So if he was actually up on charges and had the same travel ban that Johnny had, if Gino had that same travel ban, and once again, Gino here was his cameraman, if he had that same ban that Johnny had, he would not get past immigration. He would not make it, because he's got to take off that beanie, get that facial scan to get out there. They're going to check his ID, and he would not get anywhere.
Now Johnny Somali reacted to the video. He's happy because Gino left and got unbanned from Kick. Now Johnny Somali is also dreaming of getting unbanned from Kick and earning thousands of dollars. Guys, do you want Johnny to get unbanned from Kick? Let me know in the comments.
I'm so happy Gino's unbanned on Kick. That means I have a chance to get unbanned too. I should have listened to Gino, and I should have booked the flight the same day as Gino. I would have been out of here. That's enough. enough. We watched enough of Gino. I love Gino. I do love Gino, and I'm so happy he's unbanned on Kick. So happy he's unbanned. I'm so happy he's unbanned. I don't have to Kick it out anymore. I don't even watch Kick anymore, pretty much.
So there's a warning for South Korea now. Yes, Johnny and Gino are actually talking about fighting back against South Korea. They're now saying they want to retaliate against what they call an unfair justice system targeting American streamers.
These niggas are gonna keep pressing us for clout. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Think it's okay to put their hands on you, bro. We're in their country, bro. We're not in America, bro. We can't retaliate how we really want to retaliate.
I like that. How we really want to retaliate. You saw Gino do that? How we really want to retaliate. We don't gotta say nothing. But how we really want to retaliate. Me and Hank are both from Stand Your Ground Castle.
Guys, I want to ask both Koreans and Americans watching this, would any of you actually support them in fighting back against South Korea? I seriously don't think anyone will stand with them, except maybe Hanky Poo and Johnny themselves. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Unfortunately, Gino escaped as soon as he sensed danger in South Korea, but all countries should stay alert, just like the Philippines, where they set a perfect example of how to treat these nuisance streamers. They handled it in just 24 hours, no matter where they're from, just like how they locked up Vitali.
To stop these people at the border, Japan had every reason, especially as a affiliate, associate, accomplice of Johnny Somali, to deny him out of Japan, to bounce him out of Japan, to keep him out of Japan. And this is one of the reasons why they need to be stopped at the border before they really commit any of these crimes, because that's really the place to stop the harm to everybody, the harm to natives, whether it's Japan, Korea, Philippines, Thailand, wherever, to keep these nuisance streamers out. Because after you let them in, they've only caused harm to people, harm to property, harm to people, emotional distress to people, harming children, women. These are the things that these people do when they enter countries, and you've got to bounce them at the border by linking their faces to a file which has their information and saying, we don't want you in our country, which every single country has the sovereignty to do and should exercise, particularly against nuisance streamers, especially against those who are accomplices of convicted criminals like Johnny Somali, Ramzi Khalid, Ismail, and his friends, many of which who are, of course, convicted criminals.
If an American in South Korea says something highly inappropriate in public, can I eat your pet?
Can I eat your
The consequences can be extremely serious. Under South Korean law, that kind of statement is considered sexual harassment and public insult. Offenders can face up to 2 years in prison for sexual harassment, an additional 10 years for public insult, and be fined up to $4,000 or more, depending on the severity. But it doesn't end there. If the authorities or victims push for maximum punishment, the individual can also face deportation, a permanent ban from re-entry, and a criminal record that can affect their entire future. South Korea takes these matters very seriously, and foreigners are not given any special treatment. So guys, what do you think about this? Johnny Somali's friend Gino also can't escape the law anymore. He too will have to face justice. No nuisance streamer can just do whatever they wanted and run away. Even if they try to hide in different countries, it's going to be tough for them. Do you think this new zero-tolerance approach against nuisance streamers will actually work? Or do you believe that, just like Johnny Somali, this topic will just fade away with time? Share your opinions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.